don't you worry, Jack Attack. We'll find that dog, even if it's hiding in Tenshukaku.
Ito, it's just a myth.
Whoa, compadre! And Pime, you finally made it! Oh man, have I missed you guys. Oh, yeah, and this is Dvorak, a musician from Fontaine. Jack Attack, you know these two, right?
Hey, Mr. Dvorak, it's you!
It's so wonderful to see you both again. I feel like that lantern rite was just yesterday. How have you been?
Pretty good. So how did you end up hanging around with Ito? Is he helping you with the iridescence tour now?
Oh, you better believe it, Mini Melon. But that's only half the story. This is no ordinary iridescence tour. Me and Jack Attack are teaming up to turn this into the iridescent Arataki Rockin' for Life tour de force of awesomeness!
Rockin' for life? What do you know about rock and roll, bullchucker?
Huh? What, you never heard a bullchucker rock before? Moo, moo, moo! Don't try and understand it, Mini Melon. It'll melt your mind. It's about letting loose. Come on, give us some lavender melon rock.
Okay, speak for yourself, mister. Sounds like you're the one whose mind is melting.
Just a local legend I heard about. Apparently there was a war between the islands of Narukami and Watatsumi not too long ago. Is that right?
Such a waste. When will people learn? Make rock and roll, guys. Not war.
A tragedy to be sure.
Fair
In the eyes of a rocker, all living...
No, the story goes that this dog was something like a ninkin. It would show up out of nowhere in the middle of a battle to rescue the injured animals and take them to safety.
Rockin' and rollin' to the rescue!
In Rito, I was actually there while the war... It inspired me to write a song about it. I was even planning to host a music festival around the same theme, but unfortunately, I couldn't convince my investors.
Oh, yeah. I heard all about that. They claimed they had to...
Yes.
What kind of...
Good question. Risks...
I agree. When people have too much more...
They do, huh? So what do you mean by rock...
you know, the spirit of...
Huh. By that definition, aren't the investors the most rock and roll people?
Anyway, point is, those chumps are out, and Arataki Ito is in. I'm running the show from here on out.
Oh, yeah, right! How are you gonna fill in for the investors? Do you even have any more?
I have faith in Ito. He tells me that the Arataki gang is a small but well-known and influential organization in this area, and has even been known to rub shoulders with the local authorities. Isn't that right?
Rub shoulders is putting it mildly. More like they're always locking horns.
Hey, don't look down your nose at the Arataki gang. I got connections, all right? Even the Tri-Commission listens to what I have to say.
Okay, Mr. Big Shot, whatever you say.
You can doubt it all you want, Mini Melon, but it's the truth. You know that guy in the Yashiro Commission? Well, he and I are officially bros. That's right. I'm talking about Toma, housekeeper extraordinaire. And there's the general from the Tenryou Commission, Kujo Tengu. I mean, sure.
Mutual? Yeah.
Okay, fair. No first-name contacts there. But the Arataki gang is a big contributor to the revenue stream. All those fines we pay.
Fines?
Huh? No! I mean the taxes. Yeah. But that's not all. Let's not forget my contacts outside of the Tri-Commission, huh? Amazing, talented people from all walks of life. Like the TCG legend, Ayato. Oh yeah, he's made quite a name for himself in the TCG circles. In fact, they got a saying now. Ayato of the South, Ito of the North. Ha ha ha! That's right. I'm the only serious competition he's got in all of Inazuma.
Did you...
Then there's the Fox Lady, VIP customer of Yukio. Also, you know that lonely god in Tenshu. During the Drum-Along Festival, the Tenryou Commission were worried that their almighty
Wow, look at you! Sounds like you're really going up in the world. At this rate, you'll have made Shogun by the next time we see you. And then Paimon will have to call you Almighty Bullchucker.
Well...
It's nothing. Don't mention it. My bro Goro sorted it.
Wait, you know Goro?
Yup. I always knew him as General Goro of the Resistance Fighters. But
Miss Hina, so you...
Hey, no need to yell, all right? After falling for the Tenryou Commission, so I wrote Miss Hina a letter. She wrote me back right away and said I was like, what? General Goro?
That was close. Paimon's with you.
What do you mean? Isn't it like one?
That's called a captain.
Really? Huh. Well, either way, if it wasn't for Miss... All right. Good chat, compadre. You guys focus on having a blast here at the festival. I think I can handle this little canine conundrum. There's still a few days left until the big party, so not everything's set up yet. But, the jam zone and the roasted lavender melon zone are ready for action. Have fun, compadre. Got a dash.
What a character. Gotta admire his enthusiasm, though. Well, it looks like it's just the three of us for now. Why don't I show you the jam zone to start with?
Peace and good health should be enjoyed by all. If I can provide everyone with a life such as this, I will be content.
Here we are. I've supplied musical scores and instruments from various regions, including a horn I personally brought from Fontaine. You can play whatever music you like. If you get tired, the roasted lavender melon zone is just over there. Ito says that lavender melons are rock and roll fuel. So what do you think? Want to give it a try?
Let's change the topic.
Well, we're planning to, but it could take some time. Only one of them is actually sticking to the plan.
Yep, that's the art. We should help out. We can't let this...
Oh, I mean, are you sure? That would be
No problem. We're happy to help.
Exactly. According to the original plan... actually, give me a second. I'll make you a checklist of all the outstanding tasks. That way it'll... Oh, also, one other tidbit to share with you. Ito is planning to perform a song on stage on the final day of the event.
Ugh, typical bull chucker always has to be the... Oh, Paimon would steal the show for sure! No one would give Ito a second look after that! Pretty sure he'd yell out, Paimon's so rock and roll it hurts! And then he'd run off the stage, bawling his eyes out!
Those are some bold claims, Miss Paimon, but that kind of confidence would serve you well on the stage.
Paimon's just kidding.
Great. Feel free to take a look around. I'll bring it over in a few minutes.
Well, well, well. If it isn't the Traveler and Paimon.
Wow, Shinobu and Heizo!
Is truly...
Doshin Shikanoin was talking about you.
It's called intuition.
Paimon sure wasn't expecting Heizo to be the...
Boss nagged me to prioritize the Tenryou Commission invitations.
So, why isn't...
Kujo Tengu, come meet me at the top of the Sanganamiya Shrine. Let's go nuts and have a totally rock and roll sumo wrestling match.
If I were Kujo-Sara, I'd jump at the chance to throw Ito off the roof.
But then wouldn't Kokomi come and throw Sara off too? All that stomping around on her roof, the noise would drive her crazy.
Yeah. Well, anyway, Madame Kujo-Sara's response was much more magnanimous than mine would have been. She gave us a basket of lavender melons to bring...
Magnanimous?
What message?
If that Oni... The other so, I guess this basket of lavender melons.
Maybe just give Boss the melons and don't mention that part.
Sure. Well,
aren't you gonna stay for the event?
don't worry. I'll definitely be back.
Eesh, being a detective sounds busy.
Ah, the dog, yes? That was...
Oh, never mind. Paimon just thought a detective...
I'm only speculating here, but from experience, What's wrong? From the look on your face, you've got a vested interest in this situation. Interesting. Well, since I'm going to Rito anyway, I can always ask around. Don't be silly. If this matters to you, that's a good sign that it'll turn out to be something that interests me, too.
Seems like Doshin Shikanoin's quite the lone wolf. Well, I better get back to delivering these invitations. Gotta make sure the big party's a success.
In that case, guess it's time for us to get to work, too. Wonder how that checklist is coming along.
Sorry to keep you waiting. Here's that list for you. If you can work your way through all...
Great! Perfect timing, Mr. Dvorak!
Thank you. I'm very grateful for your help. If you feel like flexing your music...
I will always seek to protect the things that are most important, no matter what it takes, even when it looks futile.
Hello. Would you like... Great. Hello. Would you like to... Oh, really?
Come in, take a seat. We have a few specials today at Angel Share. Take the back alley. I don't want to get caught buying alcohol.
Anything the Knights can do for you?
If you keep your eyes peeled and your mind engaged, you'll find there's always a new story nearby just waiting to be discovered.
Opa, tudo bem. Boa noite.
Boa noite, deixa eu ver aqui. Aí ele ficava brincando ali, tomou no cu.
Qual é o
A
nome do
mulher, o
jogo?
bicho sugou ele lá, né? É o Genshin Impact. Deixa eu ver aqui. Ah lá, o Coisa dormiu também, ó, o Júnior.
Legal. Joga há muito tempo.
Ah, eu jogo bastante tempo esse jogo aqui. Tem vários personagens nele.
Acabei de seguir. Tá em que nível?
Tô nível 60 aqui.
Boa. O que exatamente tá fazendo agora no jogo? Vai ficar só tocando. KKK. Ah, era um desafio, entendi. Tá no computador ou no celular.
The key here is consumer psychology. Adventurers, we have some new items. Have a blast.
stock at Zigu Antiques? Bad news for my purse.
E... Faz sempre livre.
Fiz do lado, esse negócio, acho. Sim, eu faço sempre, às vezes.
E sempre tem sempre pouca pessoa. E só uma pergunta não é para ofender. A boneca é bonitinha. Voz estranha kkk é uma aqui tá lendo. Tô indo boa Lívia aí.
Feel free to take a look around.
The key here is consumer psychology.
Thank you so very much, lady.
Join the Adventurers Guild. You'll have a blast.
There are lots of journalists in the court of Fontaine, but not all of them hold themselves to a high professional standard. If you're ever looking to do an interview, I'm your best choice.
The key here is consumer psychology. Jewelry's out of stock. We have some new items in.
Join the Adventurers Guild. You'll have a blast.
Senua Kiosk. Place to go for classic Yua dishes.
Cuisine is inedible.
Adventurers Guild. You'll have a blast.
Here is consumer psychology.
So, are you buying or not?
Auto reconfiguration is an essential function.
So, are you buying or not?
Limbs are a requirement for locomotion.
Oi. Caraca, hein? Espera aí, tu me leu. Cara, esse jogo em massa. Ainda comecei esse jogo. LV 8.
Hello. Would you like to... Oh, really?
Qual do LV? Para joga junto mesmo.
Pra você chegar, tipo, o multiplayer tem que chegar no nível 30.
Valeu, ai.
Stabilize.
Jogo no celular.
Let's light it up! Teamwork is dreamwork!
Gather. This is order.
Adventure time! Yeah!
Solidify.
Let's light it up!
Stabilize.
Everybody stand back. Nice and spicy. Eat this!
Vou seguir tudo. Agora tu tem 124 inscritos. DND. Eu acho o Kaká. O calvo também tem. Desculpa, mandei isso WMTR. também tenho o canal @VeniciusTZWitch.
Is there anything in the world that will satisfy my taste buds?
IM KJKJ. Live boa.
Same mistakes over and over.
Ah, it's been a while. Of course. Go ahead. No. Now there's a question I wasn't... The once renowned Raiden Gokuden, comprised of 5 branches. Amenoma, Futsu, Ishin, Hyakume, and Senju. The art of forging practiced by these 5
Como era pra troca os
was first taught to them
personagens?
personally by the almighty Shogun. Over time, the 5 branches diverged from one another as generations of bladesmiths honed and perfected their craft until they became 5 distinct traditions. Most of the great swordsmith clans of old have since fallen into decline, and for a long time, only the Amenoma branch kept its art alive. But fortunately, Kaede Harakazuha recently returned to Inazuma and took up the mantle of the Ishin art. Now, 2 clans remain of the original Gokuden 5. If my memory serves me right, you yourself were present when he forged the Ishin blade.
Oh, yeah, we were! Paimon remembers that now. We learned a bit about the decline of the Raiden Gokuden then, too. It seems like such a shame.
Ciao.
That, my friends, is a tragic tale indeed. In fact, this was not made known to me for most of my life. All these years, I knew of those great clans' demise, but never the cause. Only recently, when the question was on my mind, did I ask Kaedehara Kazuha about this. He told me that, as we are both heirs to a branch of the Raiden Gokuden, it was right that I should know the truth. There is no harm in telling you, but I must warn you. It is a dark and sorrowful tale. The Raiden Gokuden were the targets of a murderous rampage by a vengeful bladesmith.
Vengeful? Why?
400 years ago, so I'm told, there was a catastrophic malfunction in Tatarasuna's furnace. One brave swordsmith heard the commotion and chose not to flee, but he rushed to the scene, hoping Tatarasuna was home to a state-of-the-art forging and smelting operation in that day, and overseeing it was the armory officer. His surname was Niwa, though he had family ties to the Kaedehara clan. Knowing that they had just one chance to save countless lives, the smith's death, though heroic, dealt a devastating blow to his family's fortunes. His orphaned son was left to fend for himself, and grew up deeply resentful at the world. In his heart, the whole of Inazuma was culpable in his tragedy. He hated the powerless and destitute. The only legacy he had to pass on to his children was his hatred. Generation after generation bore this grudge, living in utter misery. Alas, if only the story could have ended there. But 100 years ago, the then head of this family reached the end of his wits. He could bear their fate no longer, and yet he could do nothing to change it. Finally, he made a drastic decision to take revenge on the Raiden Gokuden. In doing so, he sought to vent his pent anger and shake the very foundations of Inazuma's forging industry. In his fury, he murdered indiscriminately, killing even bladesmiths from the Hyakume clan which he belonged to. His goal was absolute, the devastation of all of the Raiden Gokuden. But when he came to the Kaedehara and Kamisato clans, his killing spree came to an abrupt end. He failed to catch them unawares. They fought back fiercely, and they did not spare his life. That is why the Kaedehara clan and their Ishin art survived that day. I suppose they were the lucky ones, under the dire circumstances.
Was there anything else you wanted to ask?
Só uma coisa.
Kazuha? Why, yes. Just yesterday, in fact. We spoke for a while over some tea. My pleasure.
Don't tell Paimon. There are other places you want to visit too, right? Your expression says it all. You can't hide anything from Paimon. On to the next stop. Lead the way, traveler. Paimon will be right behind you.
Mais livre desse cheiro, por favor, rosto chorando.
You packed all your things? Make sure you brought the onigiri and rice cakes your mother prepared.
Don't worry. I have them all. They're going to last me days. Take care of yourselves while I'm out. And make sure you remind Mom to take her medicine on time. If running the store gets a bit too much, take some time off and wait for me to return.
Oh, Yoey Mia, your mother and I got so worried when we heard that you were going so far abroad. We've never left the country, so we don't know how Outlanders might view us Inazumans, or if they'd even be willing to speak to us.
Oh, relax.
É isso, tchau, vem me ver.
Friendly and warm. Look at Toma from the Yashiro Commission. He's originally from Mondstadt, but everyone thinks he's a top-tier guy.
A mop tier? What mop? Oh! Do you mean the broken one at home? I just fixed it today, actually.
No! I said top, not mop. You know, Toma even sent us some wine from his homeland not too long ago.
We haven't heard this kind of friendly banter in a while, huh?
Faço live sempre que dá durante as semanas. Opa, voltei.
Bem-vindos aí. Ai, oi, Mia. Deixa eu ver. Você é tão energética como assim.
I'm excited because I'm going on a trip soon. Many things have changed. Lots of Outlanders have come to Inazuma, and lots of Inazumans have gone out as well. You two have been adventuring all over to that, so you might not be able to understand. But for us, this is a long-awaited chance to go out and fulfill our dreams.
That's right. The Sakoku decree is gone.
Ah, I remember you two. You're Yoey Mia's friends, yes?
Bosono.
Word of your incredible accomplishments has spread throughout Inazuma. My daughter's a big fan of yours. She said she'd love to be like you two.
Come on, Dad. Who's never dreamed of becoming a hero? Oh, thanks. But I'm just your average artisan. The quiet life suits me better. But if an opportunity presents itself, why not try to show your stuff, right?
All right. Did you two come over today to order some fireworks?
Oh, sorry. I got carried away. Well, I'm gone. Dad's in charge of making fireworks. You've seen how skilled he is, so there's nothing to worry about.
Oh no, we aren't here to do business or anything. We just happen to be passing by.
Oh, so we're all here with time to spare? What a treat! In that case, let's chat some more. I'm not in a rush anyway.
Sure. So, where are you planning to go?
KKKK e resolvi jogar em live e passar a história que tô atrasado KKK.
I say that, but I don't know what...
That's it? No details?
Not right now. Since this meteor shower was originally something like a family legend. A long time ago, the Naganaharas were inspired to create new fireworks after watching such a meteor shower. Dad says that inspiration is a combination of what you see and what you know. Different people can see the same thing, but have different thoughts. Inazuma today is completely different from how it was in the past. If I can see this meteor shower, I'm sure I'll be able to come up with a new kind of firework. I know, right?
Atrasado, mas sempre no horário KKK.
I want to go and look outside Inazuma.
No need to be shy about it. You gotta play hard.
Gosta de lixo, eles falam que KKKK.
You know, you're right, Paimon. Is it just me, or have you gotten wiser since we first met?
Paimon loves being friends with you since you say such nice things.
paciência para ler essa história.
Sumeru.
Sim, o leitor da Liv fica bem hilário.
Ton of trees, a super impressive school, and a
Pelo menos é em português. A história é bem longa, tô no capítulo interlúdio.
Really? But won't research people make fun of me or something if I ask them about a legend?
We won't know if something's real or not unless we ask. Don't worry. Knowledge connections in there. Well, she does anyway.
Wouldn't I be taking up your time, though? I doubt this is in your schedule.
Gente que gosta de falar. Tenho mais de 30 personagens de nível máximo.
Exactly! Relax, Yoimiya. You've helped us plenty of times before.
All right, then I accept your offer. Let's have some fun at Sumeru. Dad! I can have more peace of mind now that I'm traveling with them, right?
Hmm?
Remember!
Já amanheceu no jogo e ainda estão conversando.
Trainee Forest Ranger Kale, reporting. We'll need a strategy.
A boneca ficou mais bonita.
Where to this time?
Não por nada. Mas você não é homem. Por que você fica com boneca feminina? Acha elas mais bonitas, kkk.
The world remains constant over the centuries, but human life is like the dew at dawn, or a bubble rising through water. Transitory.
Porque elas são mãos rápidas e curto jogar com o movi setembro. Show. Se vai rir mais, esse jogo tá na configuração do celular. E nunca joguei.
All the world holds dear is but a backdrop of constant motion. I stand before it, alone and unchanging.
Meu time de dano é o com 3 personagens masculinos que é o Zong que é suporte e Razor que é dos. O jogo é bom e tem muitas DLCs atualmente. Vou sair vejo se volto.
Traveler, it's been a while. If you're looking for the Commissioner and Miss Kamisato, I'm afraid your timing is unfortunate. They're not here right now.
Are they out on business?
The Commissioner is out on business, and Miss Kamisato is standing in for some meetings in the Commissioner's place. If it's urgent, you're welcome to wait inside until they get back.
What do you think? Shall we go in?
If it were anyone else, I couldn't allow it. But seeing as you're so close with the Commissioner and Miss Kamisato, I think it should be okay.
We'll be heading in then. Thanks!
Hello, dears. Is there something you want to say? Of course, traveler. Yes, I know you. What would you like to know? Oh, they're both very well indeed. Lately, Miss Kamisato has been rather busy attending all kinds of meetings and occasionally paying visits to some local organizations on the Commissioner's behalf. As for the Commissioner himself, well, you know, busy as ever. That much hasn't changed. Although he does seem to be in a rather good mood these days.
So pretty much business as usual on the Yashiro Commission, huh?
Very much so.
Well, got any more questions?
You're very welcome. In fact, I would love nothing more than for you to come and visit more often. But I'm sure you must be far too busy to have time for that. Miss Kamisato talks about you all the time. She seems so thrilled to have you. I must say, many things in Inazuma seem to have taken a turn for the better since you arrived here. So you're not just Miss Kamisato's knight in shining armor, you know. You're a hero to us all. I mean it. Whenever the Commissioner dines at home, Toma always joins him. I always find myself at my most relaxed when I'm serving the two of them and listening to them chat away. The Commissioner has such a busy schedule that he doesn't always have the chance to take his meals at home, but given the opportunity, he always prefers to dine here. They say it's because Toma's a much better chef than most. Oh, the Commissioner is so fond of home comforts. They get to talking about you sometimes, too, you know. Always with a very fond tone. The way one would talk about dear old friends around whom one can truly be themselves. Miss Kamisato occasionally joins them as well. whenever the whole family gets together and they start talking about people they've... It's been many years now since the late Mr. and as someone who is old and gray enough to have watched, so in the future, if you ever do have the time, wonderful.
Paimon likes it here too. Also, you were saying something about the food here being really great. Paimon's itching to try it. We made...
Of course.
All right, goodbye for now. Great. Goodbye, ma'am. Don't worry, we'll see...
All right, then.
Oh, are you two leaving already?
Hurry.
Yep, everything's taken care of now. Don't...
Very well. Safe travels.
Até Trai. Agora. Yeah. Ações. Tá, vamos convocar para Meteor. Beleza. Deixa eu ver rápido. Missões aventura, missão lendária, Arconte, Santuário decrépito. Vá para Tatarasura, procura de pistas. E nas zonas Bonde, Alça da Destruição. Descobrir mais sobre o nosso amiguinho. Eu vou passar por essa também.
Ready for a rehearsal?
What do you want from me?
Our mission begins. Evil shall be dispersed.
Well, here we are. But what are we looking for? Something?
Do my eyes deceive me, or is that the Traveler and Paimon?
Xavier? What are you doing here?
I was in the general area, and now I'm in...
We have some questions and thought you might be able to help.
Certainly do. I've researched the furnace here and some... If there's anything you want to know, just ask away. Like the back of my hand. Make no mistake, I have been here a good many times before. Not only that, but I've met people in Inazuma whose families used to live in Tatara... Oh, well, it's a long story, don't you know? The tale of Tatarasunas. I'm told that its history is one of the most foremost forging and smelting operations in the nation. Goes back around 1,000 years. Still, the furnace has had a couple of serious maintenance issues along the way.
A couple? When exactly?
One was just in the last few years, the other was several hundred years ago. A fun fact, I'm not the first Fontaine tech guy to come and work on it either. There was a guy back then too. They say he was a mechanic who consulted on a technology upgrade. It seems like the technological collaboration between our two nations goes back a long way. How about that?
Hey! Weren't you gonna ask Xavier something about Tatarasuna? Come on, ask already.
Oh, I didn't realize you two were here for a history lesson.
Me neither. Paimon doesn't know what's gotten into this one today. Feels like we've been preparing for a history exam or something.
What brought this on? Did you just wake up today with a sudden burning desire for historical knowledge?
Então, basicamente, então posso fazer uma pergunta.
Sure, go ahead.
Já ouvi falar de um kabuki mono conhecido Tatarasuma, ou também conhecido como escaramuche. Tem que falar o nomezinho certinho.
A kabuki mono? No, I can't say that I have. I do know the word, Inazuman for those eccentric types who always go around dressed to the nines. Just the sort of person that I'd like to meet, actually. But sadly, I've never had the pleasure, nor have I come across anything to do with a kabuki mono where Tatarasuna is concerned.
Literalmente apagou a memória de todo mundo mesmo.
Of course! Don't mention it.
Oh, we're leaving? Okay, bye, Xavier.
Oh, you're most welcome. More than happy to help. Farewell.
Hello.
Looks like you got all the information you're looking for. Sure, but keep your smile, Spinal Crocodile. No matter what happens, Paimon will always be there. Hey, don't mention it. All right, let's...
I'm not in that. Vamos lá para Sumero. Parte do deserto, Sumero. Encaminha subterrâneo. Vamos encontrar com Ana Rita. Cadê? Ana Rita, minha filha. Regiao, cadê?
Hey, it's them!
Akaba, Sawada, you're still here?
Indeed we are. If you have a moment, we'd love for you to join us once more.
We have time. What do you want to talk to us about?
It's the same topic we discussed last time. Obvious.
Still looking for more info about Tatarasuna, huh? Should we do...
Unfortunately, we haven't made any real progress. Huh? Oh,
Artigo, aviso, esse artigo é uma pesquisa auxiliar do projeto Abrindo o Veio de Varro Humano. Ainda não possui número de edição. Resumo da região Tatarasuna. Os resultados da indústria forja, 2 incidentes aconteceram. Registros a respeito do primeiro são confusos. O autor acredita que o primeiro incidente ainda pode esconder fatores históricos desconhecidos. certinho zerar as fontes. Tá. Raiden e Koshinagamas. Marionete da Shogun. Eles realmente estiraram o nosso grande escaramuche da história.
I presume you'll want to read mine as well?
Beleza. Deixa eu ver. O doutor foi até a fábrica lá, né? Sabe? Causou todo aquele caos, fez escaramuche e matou o carinha. E realmente foi mudado tudo. O escaramuche se auto-apagou da história. Tecnicamente ele não mudou nada que aconteceu, ele só mudou os fatos, mostrando que ele pode ficar fora da história. Um mecânico estrangeiro. Quem será? Eu sei quem és tu. E esse cara vai ser problema no futuro. Doutore, quais são suas reais intenções? Mudou muito do último texto. O Niwa desapareceu. Ninguém sabia separar dele. Por que será? O cara literalmente. Nossa, essa história é triste. O conteúdo mudou. Outro efeito da adulteração. Escaramuche disse que pagaria 2 de seus
What do you think?
Uma obra-prima. Perfeito,
Aqui was saying how he wished he could gather more information about all this? Well, we just got back from Inazuma. So how about we tell them?
What did you find out? Something big?
It's a long story. Basically, we have some friends in Inazuma.
Papai mó fofoqueira como
Wow, so many new details.
Fofoqueira pra
Thank you so
caralho,
much
filho.
for sharing that with us.
Well, well. So it all comes down to one man's desire for revenge. Huh. You heard this from a member of the Amanoma clan, you say? Then I guess it must be true. Ugh. So there's no ghost story here after all.
This new information actually lends further credence to my hypothesis. Evidently, swordsmiths were seen as having an incredibly prestigious role in society those days, to the extent that harming them was conceived of, at least by the perpetrator, as a way of exacting revenge against those in power.
Yes, okay, point taken, you were right. But that doesn't mean I can't carry on with my novel.
And they're back at it. These guys are really into this.
Oh, so sorry. Look at us, prattling on about our projects and ignoring you.
You're welcome. See ya.
Keep us in the loop if you find out anything else.
Will do.
A nossa fofoqueira falou demais. Vamos falar com a Narida. Eu vou ser, senhores, cara, o louco da história, né? Agora tem que pensar no nome do rotina. A menina Rita tá ali, arcante dentro, que é onde não tem essas. Ela é a Furina. Narida, Pia, hein?
Nahida, we're here! Traveler, Paimon, how have you been? Ugh, where to start? Paimon hasn't had a moment's rest this whole time. That night, we ended up chatting and chatting until suddenly the sun was up. And then she decided she wanted to go to Inazuma. The Balladeer? It sounds like some kind of code name.
Até tu, Narida. Até tu esqueceu o nome do escaramujo.
You look troubled. Is there something you need to tell me?
Agiu rapidamente, ela terminou de se apagar antes que Narida pudesse pará-lo. Se ainda lembro das coisas que foram apagadas mais uma vez, eu mantenho o registro.
Hey, what's wrong? You look so
Há
upset.
coisas que aconteceram que só eu lembro. Eu tenho que te contar a verdade. Conta. Vai lá, Narida. Havia um homem chamado Escaramujo, criado pelo arcão de dentro. Ele era uma marionete que vivia entre as pessoas. Após uma série de eventos que pesadíssimos, pra se dizer pra caralho, ele acredita que foi traído 3 vezes, deixou Inazuma, sendo que você não contou o que ele fez, né, Traveler? Sem confiança nos humanos e apenas odiando os deuses, ele guardou um rancor por anos enquanto ele fortalecia. Então ele retornou para Inazuma para ter a sua vingança. Ele tentou em vão se tornar uma divindade com gnoses e acabou perdendo tudo. Finalmente ele entrou na Imersul e descobriu a verdade sobre sua traição. Sabemos agora que toda a sua vida foi feita de mentiras. Ele fez o impensável em uma tentativa de reverter o destino trágico.
That's quite a story. So, this puppet known as the Balladeer erased himself from Irminsul, hoping that he could change the past. But
Sim,
how
Escaramujo é
is
burro.
he even able to do that?
Simples assim.
As the traveler said, he very nearly became Sumeru's deity. Admittedly, I remember it a little differently. I don't recall finding anyone inside the machine after we defeated it.
É porque o Escaramujo se auto-apagou da história, só que ele pensou, o imbecil pensou que ia mudar a história se ele fosse apagado, mas não. Ele é imbecil mesmo. Ele só não existe. Embora tenha uma vaga lá nos fatores dele. Ou será que vai ter mais um que ocupou o seu lugar? Pensativo.
Nevertheless, it does make sense. If someone were to successfully erase themselves from Irminsul, the world would change to reflect. So, you believe this person really existed, and we just don't remember him because, well, because he literally Yes. Theoretically speaking, it is possible to do this. But I'm struggling to imagine the kind of person who would dare go through with it.
É porque ele é burro. Simples assim. O escaramuche é burro. Ele pensa, eu vou me auto-apagar da história pra ver o que acontece. O que mais ele esperava? Ele achou que ia mudar alguma coisa? Não. Continuar a mesma bosta. E ele simplesmente se apagou da história, porque ele é burro. Simples assim.
The traveler comes from a world beyond to that. That's why there's no information about her in Irminsul. And it also explains why any changes to Irminsul wouldn't affect her. So if there's anyone in the world capable of retaining memories from a past that has been rewritten, it's you. It's quite incredible when you think about it. Paimon's having a hard time understanding this balladeer guy's motivations. Why did he do it? I can only make inferences based on the information we've been given. As for what kind of person he was, only you remember that.
É meio confuso pra explicar como esse escaramuche é. Deixa eu ver. Maluco, psicopata, biruta. Às vezes ele faz algumas coisas ajudando, outras vezes atrapalhando, né? Ele tenta fazer tudo conforme ele estava obedecendo ordens, mas quando ele viu que o doutor não era o salvador dele, ele fez o que fez, né? Ou seja, ele é confuso, mas ele vai ser nosso aliado. Disso pode ter certeza na Rita. É porque ele é burro. Simples assim. É tão impossível de explicar. Ele é burro. Ele se apagou da história porque achou, eu vou apagar da história simplesmente porque as coisas vão melhorar sem a minha presença. Não mudou nada. Continua a mesma coisa. Só mudou os fatos que aconteceram. Mas não mudou o que aconteceu. Sim, ele queria salvar alguém. O lyuei. A própria existência completamente. Ou queria desfazer da própria existência. Na verdade, ele queria meio que se redimir dos seus pecados. Só que como ele é burro, não deu certo. Simples assim. A Narida 2.0. Isso foi triste. Ela teve que se auto-apagar para não destruir o mundo. A sua antiga eu se matou. Mas eu não podia dizer isso. Na verdade, a minha personagem não vai nem pensar em dizer pra você. Então, fique sem saber, Narida. Melhor assim.
something else worrying you? Something that you can't share? It couldn't change the fate of the ones who had died, right? Once the balladeer realized he hadn't been betrayed after all, it must have completely changed his view of the people of Tatarasuna. Now he saw them as friends again. He couldn't keep hating humans after that. And if he thought there was a chance he could save his old friends, it would be hard not to try. The story makes sense, every part of it. The balladeer tried to achieve godhood with the doctor's help. He was unsuccessful, but retained the power to connect with Irminsul. That power then enabled him to change what was recorded in Irminsul and erase himself, even though he didn't have much strength left.
Yeah, it does make sense, but it still ended in tragedy for his friends. It just feels so hopeless. He gave everything to do this, but it seems like he got nothing in return.
Aí eu acho que tem um ponto. Ciclos. Para ele não conseguir mudar alguma coisa, é porque algo está interferindo. Que faz com que o ciclo sempre seja eterno, independente da mudança. Se ele conseguiu se auto-apagar da imersão, apagar a sua história quer dizer que ele ficou fora dessa linha. Ou seja, ele foi contra a maré. E se todas as lore estiver certa, o tal pecador deve ter algum envolvimento nisso. Muitas teorias. Se pá, era os dois. Ele queria se redimir pelos seus pecados, desejaria nunca ter existido porque ele não escolheu existir, ele foi criado pela Beelzebub. Que substituiu a irmã dela morreu, né? E veio com aquela lance de eternidade que é uma loucura toda.
Please wait a moment. I want to check something. Found it. This should be the one. It turns out that I have a strange way of confirming everything she has told us.
What is it?
A record from a personal collection. It was tucked away in a corner. You should take a look.
Is this a fairy tale? Who wrote it?
I authored this record myself.
Huh? You wrote a fairy tale that somehow has something to do with the balladeer?
When combined with the traveler's narrative, it's clear that this story is an allegory. Everything in it is a symbol for something.
Hold on. So this record survived from the past?
Yes. Any information about the balladeer or the kabuki mono and other records will have been changed. But I wrote this story in a way that means it was left intact. Changing the information in Irminsul changes to that.
But Irminsul can't change information that was well hidden in advance. I guess I must have written this story as a backup before the balladeer entered Irminsul.
That's incredible! What a great...
And sending the traveler into Irminsul with the balladeer must have been a further precaution. I knew she'd remember everything. This story is abstract enough that it still resonates with the present information recorded in Irminsul. But if we connect all the different pieces together, the true story that emerges is the one she told us. The now erased life of the balladeer.
Essa é a nossa Arconte da sabedoria. Eu falei que ela era foda quando ela entrou. Ela literalmente, antes mesmo de ter sua memória apagada, ela guardar um backup aqui, pode apagar. Pena que ela não fez isso quando o Kadevata, né? Mas tudo bem. Espera aí. Agora.
There was once a lone monster draped in fox fur. The monster found a family of foxes, joined them, and they became friends. The monster lived with the family day and night, and everyone treated it as one of their own. Once in a while, the monster would take off its fox fur at night and lament to itself as it gazed at its reflection in the water. I am a monstrosity, yet they are too foolish to see it. I pity them. But the monster soon found solace when another came to live among the foxes who was not their kin. A kitten, carved from the wood of a white tree who had been abandoned by the humans. The kitten too wished to become a fox, but its tail was too slender and it could not grow a coat of richly colored fur. Yet when the other foxes saw this, they spoke words of comfort to the kitten. Even without a tail and fur like ours, you are still one of us.
Essa cena foi foda. Tipo assim, não importa de onde você vem, você é um de nós. Sempre vai ser. Essa foi foda. Pena que o doutor se meteu nessa história. Doutor contra Escaramuche, Doutor contra... Eu acho que vai ser Doutor contra Escaramuche e o nosso grande Kazuha. 2x1. Tem que ser perfeito esse 2x1 aí. Pra ser literalmente o combate perfeito.
Furious at this happy resolution, the monster lit a fire on the mountain. The terrified animals panicked as the fire spread. The only way to extinguish the flames was to make a sacrifice. A gray fox stood up and addressed the monster. It said, "You are the cleverest among us. Surely you can help us find a way to solve this."
Conto de fadas baseado no Scaramouche.
Voltei, olá.
Olá. Bem-vindo. Nossa, essa aí foi foda, essa parte. Então, você vai ter que fazer um sacrifício pra ajudar a gente. Vai ter que... você, raposa, é o doutor. Na realidade, você tinha que botar alguém mais tenebroso. O doutor é o doutor. Tipo assim, você sente ódio daquele cara. Maldito.
The monster smiled, led the fox toward the fire, and murdered it. The gray fox's heart was turned into a beautiful drop of water, clear, spotless, and pure. the monster gave the heart of water to the kitten, telling him, "The foxes have decided. You are the one who must be sacrificed. Take this, quench the flames, and die for..." The fire was extinguished, but the kitten lived. It left that side of the mountain and found a little bird who had a broken wing. The two promised they would spend their whole lives together, but the little bird did not have long left to live. It passed away soon after. Never again would it cherish a single creature, nor a single blade of grass that stood on that mountain. The kitten spent the nights wandering aimlessly, gnashing its teeth at the moon. How it wished to swallow the moon and devour the moonlight. If the world could only return to darkness, then it would finally be peaceful and content. I will become the new moon, the answer to everything. Then, no one will know that there were once birds, foxes, and cats in this world. And no one can know that they were different.
We solved it!
I remember now. This is not just the Balladeer story. It is his very own memories. I made a backup so that it would be to become a god. He was experimented on and modified countless times. It was brutal torture, and the only reason he was able to survive, this memory was extracted from him by the scholars. Presumably, they kept it to have something to defend themselves with. Creating a deity was just the first step. Some of them wanted to be able to control it. That's why they backed up his memory for later use.
Esses sábios têm que aprender mesmo. Caralho, o escaramujo ele sofreu. Virou vilão. Sofreu. Ah, caralho. O cara foi gentil, abandonado, daí ele foi enganado, levou o coração do amigo dele até o coisa lá, pensando que o amigo dele tinha traído ele, que matou todo mundo. E simplesmente foi manipulado até o momento. Tentou reverter tudo e no final não mudou nada. Apesar de ele ter tido boas intenções, ele é burro. Continua sendo burro.
I buried it deep inside one of my own dreams, and then hid it inside an allegorical story so that it wouldn't be altered.
It's hard to believe that this person really existed, let alone that he tried to get rid of us on more than one occasion. Paimon has no memory of him at all. He completely vanished like a puff of smoke.
The Balladeer agreed to help me look for information about the Descenders, and although he was unsuccessful, he still helped you. Before he vanished, he confirmed an important detail, that Conria was where your twin first came into this world.
Mas quem são os 4 descidos? A viajante. E tem mais 3. Os descidos. Essa daí. Esse mistério. Quem são os outros 3? Mas o irmão deles conta como ele. Então conta como um. Os 2 contam como um. São os descidos.
We still don't know how the change to Irminsul will affect the senior ranks of the Fatui, but in all likelihood, they won't even remember their own Harbinger.
It sounds like Paimon wouldn't like this guy a whole lot if he was still around. But still, Paimon doesn't like the way it all ended that much better.
This is why wisdom alone cannot answer all our questions. We look, we see, and we comprehend, but the question still troubles us. So the answer is not everything. People yearn to find the truth and then conquer the troubles they face. When you give someone the truth, you give them a chance to choose their own destiny. To others looking on, this may seem like a pointless endeavor, but for him, the chance to act on his desire to disappear must have meant a lot. Never forget that even when we walk beneath dark clouds along a road filled with suffering, the light of wisdom is always there, guiding us toward a better destination. And that is what you have been doing all along.
Yeah, Nahita's right. Cheer up. How about we go get something to eat? We can pick up the...
Good idea. Paimon, why don't you take her out for a walk to clear...
You got it. Come on, Traveler. You need to get out of your head for a... Let's go get a snack from one of the stalls in the Grand Bazaar. That'll be sure to lift our spirits.
There's a few things I'd like to look into. You should go take a walk.
It must be really tough being the only one who remembers all that. But Paimon's always here to help cheer you up.
Just what will become a...
What should we eat first? Have you figured it all out? Why'd you jump up all of a sudden?
Excuse me, boss. There seems to be a small problem with the last bill. Look, here.
Matou a charada. Como que a Devata se autopagou da história? Ela criou a Narida. Esse cara muito fez a mesma coisa. Mas não mudou as coisas que aconteceram.
Hey! Hey, wait!
Hmm? You mean...
No, not you. That kid! Didn't you see? Little rascal grabbed my last 2 fresh sunsetti. Look, if you're gonna help out here, you can't keep spacing out, okay? What is it? The work's too boring for you? Or has the big city got too many distractions?
I wasn't paying close enough attention. Sorry, boss. I think you're right. Maybe it's the city. It's so exciting.
Who's that guy? You know him or something? He's who?
You're a strange one, kiddo. You say you don't want any money for helping out here, and then when I actually give you some work to do, I don't want to take advantage, so I'm happy to pay you what I'd pay anyone else. But if you keep acting like this...
No, please. I mean it. You don't need to pay me anything. I'm just so thankful you agreed to take on an outsider like me.
You're welcome, I guess. But I got bigger things to worry about. Look, we're all out of sunsettias. And I promised the lady down the street I'd deliver a fruit bowl this evening.
Leave it to me. I'll find some more. Just a moment. I'll be right back.
Stop. I'm gonna level with you, kiddo. I've never met a worker who said they didn't want a wage before. And at first, I got greedy. Couldn't believe my luck. But you don't want money. You don't take days off. And in your free time, all I see you do is wander around, taking in the sights. Are you a drifter or something?
That's right, I am. We can talk more about that later. First, let me get those fruits you needed. Sunsettia?
Hey, what do we do now? Okay, stay out of sight. Don't let him see you.
Paimon fora de vista. É uma excelente ideia.
In my opinion, Jutes is the best doll.
Paimon assim que aparece.
Yeah, this'll do.
Even though you say he's the balladeer, what are we planning on doing? Stealing his sunsettias? Isn't that a bit too cruel? Oh, alright.
Ô, Paimon, você acha mesmo que eu vou roubar o cara?
This should be enough. Guess I should wash them before I take them back. Huh? You two over there. Is there something I can...
He spotted us!
You've been following me all the way from the city. I'd have to be blind not to notice. Have we met before? No, we haven't met. But you know me. I have no recollection.
Are you absolutely sure?
Sorry, but I just can't take your word for it.
A puppet? What makes you think that?
Huh?
You were right! The look on his face!
I guess you do know me after all. That is not something I share with a lot of people. Look, I'm just a wanderer. But seeing as you've gone through all this trouble to track me down, I'm sure whatever it is must be important. Okay, but please let me deliver these goods to my boss first.
Are you really working for that guy? He said you don't want any more for it. Is that—
Yes, I ran into him out in the wilderness during a storm, and he let me take shelter in his cart. In return, I said I'd be his helper.
That's oddly nice of you.
Let me take these back. Then I'll come with you, okay?
Then let's return to the city.
Here you go, boss. I'll leave them right here.
Oh, you really went and picked some more. Who are—
Something's come up, and they need to borrow me. Sorry, boss. I'm afraid I'll be away from the stall for a while.
I was just about to pay you anyway. Go wherever you want, kid. Don't waste your time here.
What?
I get it, okay? You just wanted to help me out, to thank me for giving you shelter from the rain that day. Even then, I don't understand why you're so adamant. But look, it was pouring down, and there you were, sauntering along without a care in the world, like you had nowhere to be and didn't even care that it was raining. Imagine you were me for a second. It's a little weird, right? Why is this guy traveling during a rainstorm if he's not trying to get somewhere? And why is he taking a shortcut through the open country if he's not even in a hurry? But anyway, taking you in didn't put me out even slightly. You don't owe me a thing for it. Certainly not all this. Your time is valuable.
But I don't... No, you're right. Then I suppose this is where we say goodbye. Thank you again for taking me into the city.
Don't mention it, kiddo. I've run into all kinds of characters over the years. I just hope—
Thank you. All right, done. Thanks for waiting for me.
Sinceramente é foda pegar emprestado. Saiu da frente. Cheguei.
What's wrong? Huh?
Hello. I do apologize for the sudden intrusion.
We found this guy in the street, but he doesn't seem to remember anything.
that you are trekking across Teyvat to train yourself. Many other Inazumans who describe themselves in this way call themselves Shugenja. Why do you refer to yourself as a wanderer?
Well, it seems more relevant in my case. To me, it sounds like a plant with no roots. But these two claim that they know me, and that I have a hidden past unknown even to myself.
I wouldn't call it the past, but rather... that I don't like to rely on using terms like this often, but in your case, it seems that it ought to be called...
Oh, like a past life or something?
Yes, something far more distant than the past. So far away...
Okay, I have to ask. What was I like? Oh, you want to tell me, but you can't bring yourselves to say it. Looks like I didn't have the most wonderful existence in my previous incarnation. If it's that difficult to talk about, I have no doubt it will be just as difficult to hear, but I'll be able to handle it. Please.
Is truth something you care a lot about?
Yes.
Then I'll be straight with you. In your previous incarnation, you did many things that would be considered evil. You nearly died because of what other people did, and many died because of you. As a non-human being, you hated gods and humans alike. You drifted from place to place, never able to settle, even where you found status and identity. You adamantly believed that you were missing a heart. Actions rooted in persistence sometimes bear bitter fruit. Sometimes, you have to let parts of your...
I gave everything I had, but it barely changed history at all.
In terms of the outcome alone...
I don't think I can judge everything I've heard purely in terms of right and wrong. Each choice a person makes belongs to a specific place and time, a chain of cause and effect, a cycle of karma and consequence.
That is the nature of truth. If one thing is right, its opposite must be wrong. And yet, dichotomies like this are not enough to explain the world in all of its complexity.
It seems like my previous incarnation wasn't the most likable individual.
We're not trying to hurt your feelings or anything, but yeah, we weren't your biggest fans.
If we were enemies, why are you trying to help me find the truth?
This is so frustrating! This guy's supposed to be our arch enemy, but now he's got so much to answer for, but we can't make him talk because he doesn't remember anything.
Lesser Lord Kusanali, as the god of wisdom, I trust that everything you told...
Yes, it's all true. I can even show you the memories themselves, if you're willing.
Please, I want to see them for myself. I want to experience my own transgressions.
Even though it will cause your present self great mental anguish?
I'm just a puppet, with no heart and no name. There is nothing in this world for me to cling to fill the void within me.
Very well.
Wait, shouldn't we go with him? This one's kind of on us for bringing him here.
Don't worry. Whatever danger I might face, it's my burden to bear.
Traveler, could I ask you to supervise him on my behalf?
Oh, good point. Given your, unique situation, we'd better keep...
Understood.
Thank you. Now...
This looks like Inazuma.
Right now, you're in a dream I created using information extracted from your memories. These memories will show you the raw truth, but be aware that enemies may react just like in the real world. Please be careful.
Sounds like an immersive experience. It's a good thing we came along.
You don't need to do this for me. I don't deserve your protection.
We never give up halfway. Well, we had to once, but that was your doing.
All right.
Wanderer, this is the Shake Pavilion. In your Balladeer incarnation, this is where the Electro Archon placed you after your creation. You had a great many memories here.
Is that because this is kind of like his...
You could say that, in a sense.
I hear footsteps.
This place is huge. I can't believe the landslide didn't fill it in. I wonder who built it. The Crystal Marrow Miners? No, there's no way. Look at this exquisite construction work, and so well preserved, too. There's someone passed out on the ground. You're awake. What happened? How'd you get stuck here? Are you injured? Not a scratch. And these fine clothes.
This man is Katsuragi, deputy to Torichio's adopted son, Mikoshi Nagamasa. He found the Balladeer in Shake Pavilion and took him back to Tatarasuna.
And the rest is history. Well, it used to be.
In the original version of events, Katsuragi was ultimately killed by Nagamasa.
Let me get you out of here. Our people are nearby. Hang in there.
During the Tatarasuna incident, Niwa was murdered by the doctor disguised as a mechanic. The Balladeer, then known as the Kabukimono, disappeared not long after. As the second in command at Tatarasuna, responsibility for what had happened fell, but Katsuragi had sworn lifelong loyalty to Nagamasa after the latter had once saved his life. At Katsuragi's insistence, Nagamasa killed him to put an end to the Tatarasuna incident.
Katsuragi seems like he was a good guy.
He looks like a warrior, but he has a kind face. Why couldn't he live a long and happy life?
Nagamasa, I found this young guy in a cave sealed off by a landslide. He doesn't remember his name.
Well, we need to call you something. I hear the workers are calling you the Kabukimono.
It's fine with me.
Katsuragi, report to Niwa. Tell him we have someone new joining us.
What are we doing back here? Whoa, this is where you were born? It's pretty, but there's nobody here.
I was abandoned, like you. I lived here for a while at first, but there's nothing for us here. We can't stay.
Okay. I heard my mom and dad used to make swords, but the factory manager died, and then my dad got sick. He kept coughing all the time, just like me. Then Mom started coughing too.
But you can't. You promised me.
Yup, we're family now. We're gonna be together.
This child didn't have a name. Or rather, the Balladeer didn't know what to call him. His father died before he could name him. After his mother died, The child stayed in their straw hut alone. Some of the neighbors helped to raise him. After leaving Tatarasuna, the balladeer ran into this child who didn't have a name, just like him. They made up.
What happened to the child then?
He died from his illness while he was still very young. The balladeer came home one day and found that he had stopped breathing.
Hey! What's wrong? Say something! You promised me we could be family! You're no different from Niwa and all the others. You betrayed me too. The voices have gone. It looks like the memory ends here.
Let's keep going.
You do realize you're blocking my path.
I come not to obstruct you. I've been waiting. What you are truly is a weapon. One wielded with an iron will. Or you could continue to drift aimlessly.
Are you trying to win me over?
The long-fated rebellion has begun. Why not take your place at the banquet and join those who shall feast?
Order guide you. Stabilize.
Let's light it up! Team resistance!
Killjoy! We've only just begun. I see through you. Looks like I went too far.
This place is dark.
Paimon knows this place. It's
In the original version of events, the traveler once encountered the balladeer.
Such a creepy atmosphere. And so... Hey! Look over there!
Well, well, my fair lady. Is this rundown factory and these incompetent fools all for me? Wow. You shouldn't have.
Huh. What do you have to gain from belittling your subordinates? You might not want to admit it, but you are a part of this plan. Perhaps you find fighting in the Abyss to be a more meaningful use of your time? Oh, but of course, even this pales in comparison to being experimented on by...
What a sharp tongue you have. Funny how negotiating never seems to be your strong suit. For the task ahead, I suggest you keep your true feelings to yourself.
Save your breath. I know what I have to do.
I'm sure you think so, but I still think you need to hear it. Don't start thinking you're invincible.
Surely you're not worried about me.
I just can't have you getting in my way. You and Child never failed to find ways to complicate things.
I'm merely lighting a little fire in this chaotic nation. But you, being tossed out like trash, must make you want to destroy it completely. Do you remember the last time you were here? That was a lot of swordsmiths you killed. I'm sure the descendants of the Raiden Gokaden are still suffering the consequences. Look at you. Oh, don't get so sentimental. Now, give that poor little tongue of yours a rest, and by then, see you at the victory feast.
Poor little tongue? She's playing with fire talking to me like that. Who'd... Forget it. Someone might find me here any minute now. I should prepare to give them a warm welcome.
The plot does not end here. There is more of this story to come. Wanderer, are you...
Yes. Please don't worry.
Why are you staring at me in silence? Can't you think of a nicer way to express yourself?
I'm under no obligation to be nice to you. Besides, I thought nothing mattered to you except results and your own interests. Isn't that right, witch?
Muddle-headed puppet. You're only number 6 because you can take more abuse than other humans. Do you really count that as an asset?
You're about as much fun to be around as a raging inferno. But before we murder each other, it'd be best if we finish our duties.
Let me amuse myself.
Stabilize! I will have order!
So soon?
I'm going in!
Can't run from death.
Looks like we've arrived in Sumeru.
Considering that Amorta's sage, Nafis, refused to join this project, I'll take part in the experiment in his place.
Welcome. I look forward to a fruitful collaboration.
When do we start?
You seem impatient. You should know that becoming a god is far from a trivial affair.
The biological transformation is a lengthy process. As such, I too would recommend that we commence as soon as possible. In the event that a successful connection is established, his body will become permanently bound to the machine, and he will be unable to move independently.
Nothing worse than what I've been through before then, Doctor.
You were the most resilient test subject I ever came across. Thanks to you, I was able to garner a great deal of information. Alas, after that, you were under orders to remain in the abyss. We barely saw each other, and it became difficult to further refine the knowledge I had gained.
That was gracefully worded. Ever wonder what they think if they knew that nothing matters to you, apart from your crazy experiment?
I suggest you speak to me in a more respectful tone, Scaramouche. The mere fact of your utility does not make you indestructible.
The doctor again? That was uncomfortable.
That person gives off a very sinister energy.
It's normal for him to give you the creeps. He scares the bejeebers out of Paimon.
Let's move on.
You're a god. Do you think I'm evil?
If you accept that he is you, just as you are you, then yes, you are evil.
In your eyes, are there any differences between humans and puppet.
Do you think there are any differences between your present self and your previous and future incarnations? If not, then what are the differences between human? Whoever has tasted the joys and sorrows of life in the human realm is human. Whoever has loved and lost, cried with grief, howled with rage at the tragedy of death that eclipses the miracle of life, they are human too.
Narrida, seu Narrida. God.
I've seen enough of my past. If possible, I'd like to reclaim the sins that are mine to bear. No matter the consequences, I won't run from blame or punishment. Whatever I am due, let it come to pass. Can you return my memories to me?
Huh? But won't that mean you'll lose your current?
I've always believed that human lives follow a set of rules, with each person being a collection of past. As a puppet living in a human world, my life is subject to the same rules.
Regaining your memories means reverting completely to your previous incarnation. All the emotions that you discarded will return to you. Are you sure you want to do this?
I've lived with a void in my chest my whole life. My creator didn't need me. And ever since I awoke, I've just drifted from one place to the next. But then I met you. And I finally realized that reclaiming my missing sins might be my one opportunity to be... I've always felt I have an innate tendency to yearn for something more, in a way that goes deeper than for most people. But for all my soul-searching as a Shugenja, so I beg you, grant me this opportunity to gain a purpose, to change my destiny, and end my wandering.
Very well. Since your mind is made up, I will return to you that which... You have made your decision. Now, take this.
Set him free.
A puppet? What's he doing here? You're a human as far as I'm concerned.
Everyone's here. Wonderful.
What a fine blade. Nagamasa will be thrilled.
This is my...
Is he alright?
All worthless dross will be purged. That's why this won't be the end. questions.
Have you got all your memories back now?
Questions?
Feeble human!
Behold!
At my command, you shall fall!
Following me.
That's far enough! Insignificant pest!
Too slow.
Squall and fury! You dare to gaze upon me?
Quit following me.
My endless cycle begins!
I'm used to this.
The wind rises. Feeble human!
Too slow.
Insignificant pest! Squall and fury! Bow your head!
Imbecile! Get out of my sight.
It disappeared. Did we win?
Ganhamos. Na verdade foi escaramujo, mas beleza.
What did you expect? I'd never lose to that.
Arrogante pra caralho, mas é burro do mesmo jeito, filho. Não adianta. Eu ainda considero você burro.
There's the tone of voice again. You're definitely back to your old self. Wait, but it was you inside that thing too. What have you got to be smug about?
Sorry. I'm harsh on myself and everyone else. Just the way I am. You sound like you're concerned about me. But don't worry. Thanks to you, even if I didn't change a thing, at least I now know the truth.
The memory recovery seems to have been a success. This dream has served its purpose.
Come on. Let's continue this outside.
Welcome back, traveler. Paimon, Balladeer.
It feels like we just went on a really long journey. Paimon's exhausted.
You don't like being addressed by that name?
It's fine. But I was just thinking, I should probably change it. After learning about everything the doctor did, there's no way I can carry on using a name connected to him. I'm not planning on returning to the Fatui, and they wouldn't take me back anyway. Recent events will have affected a lot of people, and they might not even remember who the Sixth is.
So, you're quitting the Fatui for good?
It's like you said, Lesser Lord Kusanali. Everything may look futile, but it wasn't completely meaningless. At least I made a lot of people forget about me.
But that doesn't mean your own past has disappeared.
Of course.
And your main goal, for which you gave up everything you had, you weren't able to achieve it. I hope you can see in the changing the world, changing the past, changing the fates of other people. These are not simple things to accomplish. What you were looking for is complete annihilation. But this is just a fantasy. Even if the Balladeer is removed from existence, the world will not heed your will.
Indeed.
Do you regret doing all that when you've gotten so little in return?
Even if I'm completely worthless, there's nothing in the world worth regretting. Lesser Lord Kusanali, you purposely left that information in Irminsul, didn't—
Yes, and I took pains to make sure that you'd acquire that information naturally.
Why would you go to such lengths? You trying to win me over too?
In all honesty, your past experiences have made you a useful asset to Sumeru and to me. Winning you— But before that, I wanted to tell you the truth about your past. If all I wanted to do was use you, then I'd be no different from the doctor.
Very clever.
I guess you could say that's one of my virtues.
Utility to others is what gives me worth. So if embracing my sins is what it takes to make me useful again, so be it. Oh right, I almost forgot. You're the good guys. You're into— Sorry if I have a slightly different perspective on things, but I don't feel like I've been duped. The wisest leaders are fated to end up with the best helpers. I can live with that.
I'm glad you're able to think of it in that way. Traveler, in the future, I'll continue to search Irminsul more deeply and see what including the beginning of your twins' journey recorded in Irminsul. What exactly happened before and after that point? I want to know as well. I will try.
Traveler. After I dove into the information torrent in Irminsul, why did you go to Inazuma? So that's how you found out whose fate had changed. And how? Well, whatever your reasons, you did me a favor. And I'll do everything I can to pay it back. Borrowing and returning are the only real relationships between individuals. I'll balance the books one day. Don't you worry.
That's not true. A relationship between two people is not simply a ledger that can be I think deep down you realize this. People who show up in your life don't just evaporate like water drops and leave nothing behind. There is no such thing as balancing the books. Some things in this world can never be brought back, and they can never be changed, which is why everything that you feel is real and lasting, and whatever is missing in you will not be made whole. To be human is to live with imperfections. You can choose whether or not you want to be human.
But humans can't live without a heart, can they? Anyway, I gave up trying to become a human a long time ago.
You understand what pain is perfectly well, even without a heart. The past is set in stone, but you can keep moving on. And the longer your future lasts, the shorter your past will become, until one day, it is but a tiny fraction of your life.
Sounds like you've got a future planned out for me.
Everything's ended up being pretty darn complicated. Paimon doesn't even know where to start, but the most important thing now is that you need to follow Nick.
Then I guess I'll be helping you from behind the scenes from now on.
I'm glad that you've accepted our proposal. Why don't you choose a new name to celebrate?
Ooh! Paimon wants to pick an ugly nickname for you, too!
Why?
Because Paimon still doesn't like you that much.
Nome feio pra você. Vai lá, Paimon.
Then I hope we don't see much of each other in the future.
A name is life's first gift. You didn't say it out loud, but I know that's what you're thinking. The Traveler and Paimon have helped you a lot. If you can't decide on a new name, maybe you can ask them for ideas.
No! Paimon only does nicknames! If it's a serious name you're after, it's all yours.
Have you got anything?
Pena de apenas. Beleza. Vamos lá. Esse é um nome mas muito especial. Faça jus a ele. Sério, pra ter espaço.
Are you sure? Oh, all right. If you say.
There. Now you have a name of your own.
What about a nickname? Are you done yet?
Still thinking. Stop rushing me!
Aí depois essa Paimon pra criar apelido aí, já criou o apelido dele.
Take your time. I don't need to see you again until you've thought of one. Everyone who manipulated me and made me suffer will have to pay the price.
Todos os que me manipularam e me fizeram sofrer terão que pagar o preço.
You mean the Fatui?
The doctor, at least.
Now that your stance has changed, I believe your future path will change accordingly. But it won't be immediate. You still need some time to compose.
One more thing. There are still some descendants of the Raiden Gokuden living in Inazuma. Some of them know. Well, they ought to know about the connection between Raiden Gokuden and myself.
Eles devem saber. I think.
I don't plan to leave Sumeru for the time being. If you see them in Inazuma, please tell them that I was the one responsible for the Raiden Gokuden's downfall. Even though the events have been erased from the world, they still deserve to know the truth.
I see. That is up to you.
Huh? But if we...
It's fine. Let them stab their blades into my chest if they so desire. Maybe that's how it always should have been. No nonsense. All right, let's call it a day. Goodbye, wise deity. And you too.
He's gone.
What he went through today would have been like living an entire lifetime in an instant. He'll need some time to calm down.
Yeah, true. But even so, after everything that's happened, he doesn't seem quite as fierce anymore. So we can finally go eat? Paimon is starved.
Thank you both. I hope you will find somewhere nice to go.
I've got it! I can end my novel with some words from Mikoshi Nagamasa.
You mean because everyone else in the story is dead?
Yeah, I heard that Mikoshi Nagamasa died at a ripe old age. He's the perfect fit to be the narrator of the epilogue. The dark clouds had dissipated, but they continued to cast their shadow in Mikoshi Nagamasa's mind. Then, one night, as an old man, he had a dream. On the night when that prized blade, the Daitatara Nagamasa, was forged, the people rejoiced, and there was painting, dancing, and drinking. All these expressions of joy melted down in the furnace fire and turned into red clouds that rallied around the final sunrise that Mikoshi Nagamasa saw in his lifetime. Life is a story too long to be told, a journey that you must walk to behold.
It's about time we had a break. As soon as you stop, all the tiredness and hunger comes rushing back. Wow, good. Huh? Look at the vase. Did someone break it while they were cleaning the room or something? But Paimon doesn't remember there being a...
You sound lost and confused. I know why you are troubled. Any who knew of this would find their mind overwhelmed.
Huh? Is there someone here talking to us?
Unfortunately, the fate of Tevat cannot easily be changed. Perhaps a god may have a slim chance. When a small animal runs into a tree trunk, though the tree may sway, it is not displaced. Like a vase that falls to the ground. Whether it is broken by a cat or by...
Who are you? How do you know about all...
History does not change easily, but human hearts can. Believe your own eyes. Only that which you see is true.
The voice has disappeared. And who the heck was that? And what were they doing coming out of nowhere and saying all that scary stuff? Anyway, that vase is still lying there broken on the ground. Should Paimon go get someone to clean it up? It feels wrong just leaving it there. Just a moment. Paimon will be right back.
Hey, Dia, you're back. Are these two friends of yours? Oh? So you've already become like one of us, then? Well, that's good to know. Anyway, since we've got newcomers, let me fill you in on what Dakan al-Ahmar has been up to lately. They've become extremely aggressive. Apparently, even their own now have become acceptable targets. They even attack other relics brigades, just the same as any other mercenary.
Even the most ferocious beasts still protect their own. But it sounds like they've thrown that straight to the wind.
That's right. Once they've collected enough loot off the other mercenaries, they sell it off to a different brigade, or turn to merchants on the black market. A portion of their profits is immediately exchanged for more food and weaponry to be used in their next violent operation.
That's terrible!
Yeah, and it really makes you wonder why they're so desperate for Mora. A few days ago, Isham and I trailed them for a while, and even disguised ourselves as merchants to conduct trade with them. We were able to learn a few things from the exchange. Rather than saying they're out to plunder and hoard Mora, it'd probably be more accurate to say that they're experiencing an internal power struggle.
Wait, a power struggle?
You heard me right. The vast majority of their victims are mercenaries from the other brigades of Deshret's relics. If their only goal is Mora, they could have gone after anybody. The targeted nature of their attacks points to a power struggle between the different brigades within the relics. That's the only plausible explanation we have. Unfortunately, we weren't able to find out anything more specific. It seems they're also trying to keep things under wraps. Oh, one last thing we discovered was that over the past few years, as Dakan al-Ahmar became more and more active, Deshret's relics as a whole became a lot weaker.
Sounds mighty strange to me too. Harun, you can leave the rest of the Gotta say though, I didn't expect you to go on a whole undercover mission during the few days I was gone. Sounds like you were really putting your necks.
Nah, it was nothing. We're just as concerned about the situation as you are. The Dakan al-Ahmar is your father's crew after all.
What he said. Besides, Dia, haven't you done more dangerous things than all of us combined?
Yeah. And while they went to talk with Dakan al-Ahmar, I took a look at the last camp they attacked. Any survivors of the attack were already long gone. There was nothing of value left in the camp.
Ah, Hisham and Khalaf. You're here too.
We rushed over as soon as we saw you come into Caravan Rebat. Although this new friend of yours looks a little green behind the ears, I'm sensing a special vibe from her. Now that we know you'll have a capable partner with you, we can also rest easy.
Hey, what about Paimon? Feel anything special?
Oh, you're also planning to tag along with them?
Of course! Paimon is the traveler's most important guide. Wherever she goes, Paimon will
Oh, in that case, then you'd better take care of her too, Dia.
Don't underestimate Paimon!
Don't worry about her. She may look tiny and helpless, but she's been through just as many battles as the traveler here. Even if she had only survived on sheer luck, then that alone would still make her quite formidable.
I had no idea. I guess I shouldn't judge by appearances.
Oh, one other thing, Dia. When you're free, why don't you update the deputy about your upcoming schedule? We held another recruitment event a few days ago, but everyone only came to see the Flame Main. You weren't around at the time, so people were pretty disappointed to only find our crew of rough, unkempt guys. The deputy put a lot of effort into the event, but it was basically for nothing. Only a few people chose to stay, and that really got to him.
Sorry to hear that. I'll be sure to bring him some great liquor next time. I left in a hurry, and I couldn't make it back in time for the event.
Gotta admit, I can understand their disappointment, though. You're our brigade's main selling point, after all. Now, if only the deputy could figure out a way to bring a few more smoking hot members into our ranks.
Keep dreaming. Remember the last time I invited a couple gals into the brigade? You all just froze up with your mouths gaping like a bunch of scarecrows. The awkward silence and weird expressions left quite the impression on them. They were originally interested in joining us, but after that, they both told me they were too uncomfortable to stick around.
Hey, didn't we agree to never bring that up again?
Huh? Wait, are you serious? Why have I never heard about this?
I don't think you were part of the brigade yet.
Are you kidding me? I missed a once-in-a-lifetime moment like that and you weren't even gonna tell me?
All right. We can tell you about it later. Now's not the time.
Hey, don't you try to change the subject. You and Hisham get your butts over here and tell me everything right now.
Are they always like this?
More or less. There aren't many rules or graces when it comes to mercenaries. We're used to just speaking our minds. If someone starts getting under your skin, you just yell right back at them. And if that doesn't put an end to it, then you just challenge them to a fight. But we also don't tend to take many things too seriously. Being direct and getting it all out of your system as soon as things come up is better than keeping everything bottled up, never talking about it. That's also why I never spare their feelings when I talk to them. If I want to laugh, I'll laugh. If I'm angry, then I'll unload on them. It's hard to stop once you get used to it. Hey, knuckleheads! Can you at least tell me the rest of the intel before you go back to...
Yeah, you hear her, Holloff? Told you we gotta focus on the investigation first. I drew up a map. Right here is the spot. There all you gotta do is wait and ambush them in the evening. They'll have no idea.
Perfect. Thanks for that. Be sure to pass my regards to everyone else in the brigade as well.
Will do. You stay safe, Dia.